everyone! In this video I have scrapbook process number 34 to share with you, and yes, it is yet another one with the beautiful Dovecraft Nature's Grace collection because I love it. I love it so much. But yes, for this one, instead of having a pattern paper background, which I've done for my previous two, I went with the old-fashioned white cardstock background. And I'm not really doing a mixed media-y stuff on this one, just a little smidgy bit of acrylic paint. That is just cheap acrylic paint from Hobbycraft, their own brand stuff. That is called Dark Lilac, I think. It's a very grey lilac. Very pretty, though. And I'm not doing anything complicated at all. I'm just smishing it on there with a brush. Just like that, really. It's very simple. Added a little bit more because I didn't want it quite thick. But yes, that's really all I did in the mixed media way of things. Apart from splashes at the end because, well, obviously. But, yes, for this one, I wanted, even though I wasn't doing a pattern paper background, I did want to incorporate like a frame or a mat, depending on how you prefer to say it. So I'm gutting that 12 by 12 paper there so I can use that as my frame / mat piece there. And that's a great thing to do sometimes if you struggle with using pattern paper backgrounds, because sometimes it can be really hard. Then it's a great way of incorporating that pattern paper while still using a plain background kind of thing. So yes, I've just done that. I cut my white piece down by about 1/2 inch so that, you know, you can see about 1/4 inch on each side of the pattern paper. And I'm also just encouraging it to stay down with a bone folder tool, just because sometimes when you do the framey mat thing, sometimes it gets a bit sort of wobbly at the edges where it doesn't stick properly. So yes, just encourage it to stay down with a bone folder tool. So yes, what I'm doing now is the picture. Maybe I should talk about that. The picture is of this very adorable afternoon cream tea that myself, my mum, and one of my sisters had quite a while ago, actually. I couldn't tell you when. It's got to be 2 years at least. Anyway, beautiful vintagey tea rooms, and I just thought this picture and this collection will go together so well. Unfortunately, that tea rooms is now closed, which is really sad, but you know, these things happen, I suppose. So at the bottom there, I kind of wanted to do, it's not really a table, I don't really know how to describe it, just something going on there at the bottom. And I really wanted to incorporate that spotty or dotty grey paper as well, but it was on its own down the bottom, wasn't quite right. It didn't look okay. So I've also put that yellow piece behind it. And as you see, I'm just ripping it because everyone likes a ripped effect. Ripped effect is the best. So yes, that's what I'm having down the bottom. This is a very busy layout, by the way. You may have guessed this by the thumbnail, but yes, it is not a simple layout by any means. But I think this bit down the bottom was definitely needed. So I'm just figuring out exactly where that needs to go, because I didn't want it to go over the frame part of the layout. I just wanted it to be on the main white part. And I haven't bothered putting adhesive on the top ripped part, because if that starts coming off a little bit, that would be fine, because it will help towards the aesthetic. Just kind of that vintagey, shabby chicy, Great British Bake-Offy. That's the kind of thing I'm going for with this. So I added that piece of adhesive lace down the bottom there. That is just from my stash. I believe I got it at the Range. I'm fairly sure that's where it's from, but I'm not 100% on that one. So for backing my photo, because as I said, this was going to be quite a busy layout, and I knew that at this stage, I needed to make my photo quite standy outy, so you could still, that would be the main, you know, focus for your attention. So I started off backing it with that same yellow that I've actually used down the bottom there, but that's not the only thing I back it with. No, do not worry. So yes, back that, and then use my old favourite. I love it so much, my Dovecraft distressing tool, couldn't live without it, around the edges to stick with that whole shabby chic thing. And then I'm also backing it with some tissue paper. Now, I do not know where that is from. That was, I got some happy mail from my lovely friend Maddie recently, and she wrapped it in that lovely tissue paper, and I kept it aside knowing that it would be great for a layout like this, which it is. So yes, I've just put one layer on there, and then I kept chopping it down because I wasn't 100% happy with how it looked, and I'm going, something is wrong, I need to do something, I'm not 100% happy with this. And what I end up doing is putting 2 layers of tissue paper on. And that sounds like the simplest thing in the world, but sometimes your mind doesn't think of that at the time. So yes, I added another layer of tissue paper, and I did that one at an angle as well, so the pattern would be slightly different and more interesting to look at. Just little details that you're not necessarily going to see if you just look at the page, but if you start really looking at the page, and you see little bits like that. So for this layout with the whole afternoon cream tea thing and the bunting, which you'll see soon, a doily was necessary for this. There was no choice. There had to be a doily. And I started off with one, and then I put another one on, and then I put another one on. That one there that's got the sort of brownish stain on there, that was from my last layout I did with Nature's Grace, the Lydia layout, and it's just a bit of Heidi Swapp Colour Shine in the colour Tea that's just dabbed on there. And I thought that worked quite well with this layout as well, because it kind of looks like some tea has been spilled on that doily or something, or someone's put their cup down on it, treating it like a coaster. That's the kind of thing I was going with anyway. And then I also backed the whole piece there with some foam as well, again because of the busyness of the layout. We wanted it to lift it up from the background just a little bit. So another thing I wanted to do with this layout, which I just felt like doing, is a little bit of embossing. It's mostly because of that stamp. It's that stamp's fault. I got sent that in my first ever Trimcraft DT package, and it's this really pretty sort of stamp of basically what's in the picture, you know, the afternoon tea set thing. I can't think of the name for that thing, but the thing that you put your scones on and you put your little cucumber sandwiches on, and anyways, that's what I did. So I embossed that in this off-white kind of colour, sort of off-white cream kind of thing. It's called Seafoam, but that doesn't help most people because the amount of different coloured things that get the name Seafoam, like the Heidi Swapp Colour Shine Seafoam, is a green, so that's why I'm telling you it's an off-white colour. And then I also decided that it needed I didn't like it on its own, so I embossed it slightly, what's the word I want to use there? I didn't emboss it as well, like I made the stamp a bit, I've completely lost my word there, but it's not a perfect embossing, basically, is what I want to say there. It's kind of, yes. Let's move on because my words have left my brain. So yes, that's just going on top like that, and there's just like a hint of it from underneath. I just thought it was a nice, interesting little element. It doesn't draw your attention away too much, but it's there. So while I think I had to go away and like charge my camera or something, but I had marked little holes in there. I'm not freehanding that. I had marked them and measured them out and stuff, just with my little Tim Holtz pokey tool, and this is to put in my twine for my bunting. And you can see that I did use a really, really big fat needle to pull the twine through the hole, because sometimes if you just want to poke it through by itself, then it starts to split and it gets really hard work and stuff. So that's why I'm using the needle, in case you were wondering. So yes, I just put that, and as you can see, I'm just backing it with washi because ain't nobody got time to tie a knot. Come on. Anyway, so yeah, washi. And that's, yes, so I've done all three of those, and I will admit, when you look at them just like that, when they're on there by themselves, just the twine, it does look a bit naff, doesn't it? Like without the bunting, that would look awful. Looks like clotheslines. But yes, so all that bunting comes from the collection. There's 4 different shapes and sizes. So there's the large one with the scalloped edge, there's a larger one with a straight edge, and both of those are patterned, and then there's a smaller one with the scalloped edge and a little one with a straight edge, and those are just coloured with colours obviously to match the collection. So I didn't plan out which one was going where because I'm too lazy. I thought I would just go for it, then it would be more random and look more natural and stuff rather than planning the whole thing out. So yes, I'm just attaching every single little piece of bunting on with a glue dot, and then I have super sped this up because some of you have expressed in the past interest to see the process of these things, but obviously this took me forever, so I've sped this up like 8 times so you can see the process, but we're not sitting here for 15 minutes just watching me put bunting on because yawn. So yes, what can I say? Bunting is going on. This will probably be the last Nature's Grace layout I do, at least for a little while, because Trimcraft have just this last week sent me another DT package with lots and lots and lots of shiny, bright, happy, new, wonderful things in. So obviously I need to get cracking on those. I have actually got cracking on those. I just don't think I have any videos yet. So yes, Nature's Grace going away just for a little while. I will miss it, but the new collections as well are just also very, very stunning. So I'm almost done with my bunting there. I think after this little section I may have moved around a couple of pieces as well, but yes, you get the idea. So just to finish off, well, close to finishing off, some embellishments. So we've got the paper flowers from Nature's Grace, which I'm cutting off the stems of and sticking those on with glue dots. The obviously you can see they are a purple and a lilac. The purple is coming up a lot darker than it actually is in real life. Don't get me wrong, it is quite a dark purple, but it's not quite that dark. The camera lights do sometimes make colours go a bit wrong. So anyways, yes, I'm just having a little cluster of flowers up there, just because they look pretty. Everyone loves a flower. So yes, those are going there, and I think they look really lovely on that doily as well. And then I'm using the puffy stickers with some butterflies, because butterflies and bunting and flowers and pretty things. So I've got a couple of butterflies in flight and then a couple who are sort of sitting on the bunting. So that title I'm using is Celebrate, because it goes very well with the picture, I think. Those are from, I think it's Crepe Paper Oasis. I'm fairly sure it is. And oh my goodness, did I have trouble sticking that down. I don't know if it's because they're older and they've lost their stickiness, or if they just weren't very sticky in the first place. I don't know, but I had a hell of a time getting those to stay down. And I actually went back after finishing the layout and just used some gel medium to stick them down, because I was so fed up. They kept popping off. Anyways, small rant over. I added 2 more butterflies because I just... yay, butterflies. And then some pearls, because obviously pearls go with the whole theme of this. So again, those are from the collection as well, and I'm just putting just a couple. I don't think I put loads and loads of pearls down. And then to finish, of course, we've got some Heidi Swapp Colour Shine in gold, because at the moment I am apparently allergic to doing layouts without it. I don't know what's happening to me. I have become that person, but there it is. At least I admit it. Heidi Swapp is going on everything, but it goes with the layout, guys. It really does. But anyway, other than that, I am finished. So thank you as ever so much for watching. I will leave links in the description box to where you can get the collection, as well as anything else that I have used in this layout. Please leave me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video, and chat to me in the comments and all those lovely things. Okay, I shall now go and leave you alone. Thank you so much again. Bye bye.